ain't broke, don't fix it. There's harmony within, but you could miss it. We can be a sanctuary, watch us throw this Hail Mary. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's harmony within, but you could miss it. We can be a sanctuary, watch us throw this Hail Mary. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Listen here. I love all of you. I love everyone that comes to the celebration room on Sundays, and I love the people that come on the weekdays, the recovery dharmas and the men's groups and the women's groups and all the what have you. But I just heard a figure last week, and it was projected $30,000 in the hole. And I don't know about where you come from, but where I come from, that's called being broke. So let's fix it. We're broke, so let's fix it. There's harmony within, but we could miss it. We can be a sanctuary, watch us throw this Hail Mary. Well, we're broke, so let's fix it. We're broke, so let's fix it. There's harmony within, but you could miss it. We can be a sanctuary to all us queens and fairies, yeah. We're broke, so let's fix it. Just for how could it be written for any other occasion?
Oh, Danny, that was perfect. There are like 700,000 people out in the doors. Danielle, can you get your mean mom voice? Mean mom voice. Church is starting. Church is starting. Watch this. They're just going to keep coming. They keep coming. They keep coming. More, more, more. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you for coming to church. Ooh. Can I have a repeat? Because we are late, like always. It's broke, Danny. It's broke.
You want the whole thing?
I want the whole thing.
All right.
Danny wrote a song specifically for today, for those of you who missed all of it.
A reprise performance. You're going to get a lot of that today.
Hit it.
Not reprise performances, but original songs.
Hit it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's harmony within, but you could miss it. We can be a sanctuary, watch us throw this Hail Mary. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Listen here. I love all of you. I love everyone that comes to the celebration room on Sundays. And I love the people that come on the weekdays, the recovery dharmas, and the men's groups, and the women's groups, and the what have you. But I heard a figure the other day. It was projected $30,000 in the hole.
Facts.
And I don't know about where you come from, but where I come from, I call that being broke. So let's fix it. We're broke, so let's fix it. There's harmony within, but we could miss it. We can be a sanctuary, watch us throw this Hail Mary. Well, we're broke, so let's fix it. We're broke, so let's fix it. There's harmony within, but we could miss it. We can be a sanctuary to all us queens and fairies. Well, we're broke, so let's fix it.
Ow! Yeehaw! Thank you, Danny. Thank you, everyone, for listening to that, maybe for the second time. It was worth it, though.
Thank you.
It was worth it. Good morning, beloved community. Thank you so much for being back here in community. I'm so glad that you have started your week with us again. How about a breath? Feel yourself breathing. Follow the sensations of your breath into a fuller embodiment. We breathe so we might be fully present where we are and when we are, letting thoughts of what has been and what might be fall away just for now. We breathe together so we might be about the work of community together. Our collective breath is a sacred reminder that we are so much more together than we are alone. Our survival as people and as a people depends on our ability to breathe in this connection and hold it through each day that we face. Flame, don't fail me now. Each Sunday, a flame is kindled as a visual reminder that there is something within us, something eternal that we call light or source. That light sometimes feels dimmed by the goings-on of life or the world or even the conditions of our own minds. So we gather together to have it ignited once again. Sometimes it is kindled by what we receive, sometimes by what we share with others. I'm glad you've chosen to begin your week in this way. Again, good morning and welcome. Before greeting one another with a good morning that only this space can offer, I want to remind you that you are an integral part of this community and the space that we are sharing. Thank you for being here today as you are with us all. We are born for belonging. We don't just welcome you, we need you. We are insufficient without you. Community means that we are committed to each other and celebrating those interwoven parts of ourselves. For those hoping to share hugs, hands, and hellos, please prepare to give and receive your good mornings. For those who feel best staying seated and taking your time silently in community, please remain where you are. For those who are seated, they are asking for us to cherish them from afar. Wave your good morning politely. Go say good morning. Next Sunday's first Sunday pitching. Is it, or is it a fifth Sunday? No, it's first Sunday. Okay. Danny is poetically telling you it's time to say goodbye to your good morning. Please find your seats. Give the finger guns to whoever it is that you are about to see and say, I'll talk to you later. Thank you all so much. I have one of those incredibly long singular announcements. I'm so sorry. You'll appreciate it at the end, but it is going to be long-winded. So before that, I want you to know, next week is First Sunday. The theme for the pitch-in is your favorite breakfasts. There is a sign-up sheet located by the coffee. So make sure you sign up and bring your favorite breakfast. Mark, I saw your hand. Oh, he said never mind. He ain't got nothing. August has a fifth Sunday, and as promised, Terry is going to be walking us through craftivism and the art of creating as resistance. Look for the newsletter for August. I will give you information on how to prepare for this. Everybody got it? Now on to the longest announcement I will ever have to do. Okay. Today is July 27th. Can I get a thank you? We're almost done with July. It's the fourth Sunday of the month. We have an emergency board meeting right after service today. Okay? Emergency as in it's not our typical board meeting, not emergency like everyone should be freaked out, okay? There's a difference in the way the emergency is being used here. And so here's what you can expect. While you are getting your food, the board is going to take 5 minutes alone in the meditation room to just center themselves, check in with each other, and then we're going to convene in the food hall. Because if you are staying for the emergency board meeting, which I hope you will, we want to have space and not cram into the meditation room. So, what we are doing in the emergency board meeting is a vote. The vote is only for the board, but this process is one that is collective, which means we love you so much. But there are not going to be hours of open-ended questions and concerns happening. The intention is for a vote. And the intention of inviting you is the transparency of watching people make hard decisions. Everybody good with that? Okay, so get your food, wait for the board. The board will be back. They will also get their food. Then we'll be in the process of having an emergency board meeting. And just know, your comments, your questions, your concerns, your anger, your celebration, all of those things do have space, but not today. Okay. Now I want to give you, we're going to keep going with announcements. Now I want to give you the rest of the announcements, and that is from the imagining journey that we are in. We officially have closed the survey. We had 60 responses online, and we had 9 responses either in paper or from the youth. Cheryl and Danielle worked really hard with the youth to cast their votes as well. And so, are we ready? Can somebody give me a drum roll? Thank you. With 66.7, because listen, I make surveys that do their own math. With 66.7% of the vote, our new name is the Sanctuary Interfaith Community Center. With 51.7% of the votes, our movement motto is rooted in love, growing in spirit, cultivating community. with 41.7% of the votes. Our Sunday service theme is all people are holy, all paths are sacred, all love is lasting. And the one that no one could agree on. But somebody was at least one of the people who pushed this over. At 38.3% of the votes, the mission statement, which really you're only ever going to find on our website, right, is this. We are an interfaith community that values all people. We welcome all walks of life, all faith backgrounds, and celebrate all identities. We gather with the purpose of finding the divine spark within all creation. Just to be clear, we're adding that to the annual survey results that you did in March. I think a lot of people forgot that they did that survey, and so I'm going to clarify a couple of things because I've heard Danielle specifically and about 5 other people really voicing and fielding these incredibly kind of tense and frustrating conversations with people about how Sunday is going to change. Sunday isn't going to change. You all voted for that in March. So let me remind you of what you said already. The rituals that we are keeping. Breathing, because that's important. Bell ringing, candle lighting, meditation, and prayer. You all voted for that in March. It was already done. The next thing that you voted for that is not leaving are the leadership correspondence via newsletter. Facebook isn't something that we all use. We know that it has been the bane of Danny's existence, trying to get our videos off Facebook and onto YouTube, right? We will keep the newsletter. However, it will be monthly unless we need to send out emails, which we will do differently, as you have seen by Danielle. And here are the missions that you voted for in March. We had 3 focuses that we could possibly have, and I gave you, I think it was about 7, right? Kelsey, was that true? Here are what you voted for: mental health, housing and poverty, and young people. Okay, all of those are staying. Ow! So what's next? I know, this is the longest announcement of your life, but I think it was necessary to be as redundant as possible. What's next? Okay, so today the board is voting on the lease of this space to Fletcher Place Community Center. Does anybody know Fletcher Place Community Center? Okay, Fletcher Place Community Center is quite literally down the street. They are quite literally down the street. And one of the things that they do that we don't do is they work tirelessly to take care of the neighbors that live here. We don't do that. They do. They've outgrown their space. It is very clear to them that they need to start a capital campaign and they need to upgrade their ability to serve the incredible need that is in this neighborhood here. The next step of that process, full transparency, which I think Danielle has done a really good job at making sure people know. Yeah, can we give it up for Danielle? The next step of that process is also to consider a sale of the building with a reciprocal long-term lease back to the church, right, in a lasting partnership with Fletcher Place, one that supports their work at tirelessly serving the community, and one that supports our work, providing us we are in a dire financial situation, the kind of financial leverage to keep this congregation flourishing. Yeah, can I get an amen? Last but not least, here are the updates for you about what happens with the Reimagining Committee after this. 1, the board is prepping to look at and start to tidy up the job description that I have, okay? The job description will be for the pastor search. It's going to be the job description, the posting, and the interview process. And here's full transparency about what I know about hiring pastors. We might get 3, maybe 5 applications. That's the reality. 3 to 5. That's probably, if we're lucky, what we're going to get. What's that mean? Well, here's what that means. If you yourself, internal to this congregation, want to apply, feel called, you should probably start considering what that looks like for you. And the reason why is because the 3 to 5 applicants is going to get us maybe, 2 people that we're really hungry for? I can tell you that the process of learning the culture of this church is going to take years for someone. So, those are my 2 cents that no one asked for. The next thing that's happening is the website, the YouTube, the social media, the newsletter, and the marketing all will have a facelift. No big deal. I have a lot of work to do. And they are going to reflect the new church and the imagining movement that we're doing. New logo, really pretty. Are we keeping the same colors? Slightly. Everyone wants to know about the colors. And I love you all. I really, truly do. And here's the thing. It's going to look different. No matter who, everyone's going to be upset at one part or more. Yes, I will keep some version of the colors. But at the end of the day, I gotta get a logo. I got to get a logo because we got to do this fast. The next thing that I told you last week, which I'm the most excited about, is the merch fundraiser. We will have t-shirts, we will have hoodies, we will have bumper stickers, and we will have coffee mugs, all for sale for you to spend your money getting new church merch. That's the end of the announcements. We made it. Now it is time for the youth to depart. And the reason it's time for the youth to depart now is so that they know exactly what's happening before they leave this space. So, young people, Maggie, Tilly, we love you. Hello and goodbye. That's the perfect time for me. Where's Melissa? Yeah. No, you don't have to do anything. I just wanted to see where you were. I was told, I don't know, raise your hand if you were here last week when I had a sermon and everybody was like, oh shit, they're gonna quit. Yeah. I got a response that I have to share, and I don't know if I'm gonna get through it very well. But this is from Gabe. Does everybody know my hype guy? It's signed the Good Morning Kid. Everybody remember Melissa's son, the Good Morning Kid? Okay, so because we're giving Youth Sangha the floor these days, and Gabe isn't here today, I'm going to read this to you. Can I read it exactly how it said? Okay, great. It says, Dear Tyne, in the short time, you get it? I've been here with you being pasture, not pastor, pasture. I have learned that you are kind, Tyne, get it? You care for the church, and you love everyone here. You are the best pasture you could be. And then there's a series of maybe 100 exclamation points from the Good Morning Kid, AKA Gabe. Tell Gabe I won't quit till I see him again. I'm just kidding. I won't quit. But I also want to see him. Okay. Let's take another breath. As you find your breath and your heart center, I want you to notice how your lungs fill with our shared air, nourishing your blood and your bones, and how it feels to release that breath, emptying your sorrows and your joys to be held and honored by those around you. I invite you to shake loose what needs to be left here of your past that is far too arduous to carry alone, and offer yourself a full breath of what is possible for our week to come, with the love, courage, and the connection that only this space can offer.
Love will not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. Love will face our fear. Love will allow it to pass over us and through us. And when it has gone, there will be nothing. Only love will remain. Only love will remain. Only love will remain. Only love will remain.
Thank you, Danny. Hi, all. It's good to see everybody here. And everybody, yep, I'm getting closer to the mic here a little bit at a time. And hello to everybody out on the interwebs out there that I can't see, but hi there. And this is our time for meditation. I'm going to do this a little differently. Do it a little differently than usual. And if this won't cooperate, I'm going to make it cooperate. Do your thing. Oh. I'm going to start with a little preface to what I'm going to do for a meditation and go into a interesting subject. I'm going to quote Gabor Mate, who's out of the Vancouver area and kind of a let's call him a street physician, among other things. He's also quite concerned with issues of addiction and what blocks us from truly being free. I'm going to take a quick run of my own history, just to preface this, and go, I am a survivor of childhood trauma, no better or worse than anybody else's, and also had issues merging into adulthood trauma, which leads to the next part. Alcoholism, no better or worse than anybody else's. Some of you have been there, some of you haven't, but it's part of the journey that I've been on. Then hit my 30s and got diagnosed with major depression, and that started clarifying some things for me, that I had a lot of baggage going on. I will go back to Gabor Mate and say, the attempt to escape from pain is what creates more pain. The attempt to escape from pain is what creates more pain. I'll also take a quick side note on where we are. Where we are at the moment is unprecedented in time, okay? There has never been this many people on the planet trying to share the same space together. There has never been also more trauma, more pain, more issues in the world. And that is just, we'll take the Buddhist approach and go, such is life. And in our current light, social pain comes about. And in society today, we resist those who try to divide us with fear and hate. And we stand strong to support those persecuted and under attack in any and every way. That leads into today's meditation. I needed a place to stand, and we all need a place to stand in the face of pain, challenge, life in general. So this led me to a meditation by somebody that does this for calm meditations, Tamara Levitt, who is, she's from that nasty land of Canada. And this is a meditation from which I learn today and every day. Welcome to our meditation, where we'll be doing a self-soothing practice. To start, settle into a position of ease with a straight back and wakeful posture. You can imagine there is an invisible string attached to the top of your head, holding you nice and tall. Allow your shoulders to fully relax and rest your arms where they're most comfortable. Close your eyes, smooth your brow, feel your body relax. Bring your attention to the state of your heart, listening inward in a gentle, compassionate way, holding a space for what's there. Now tune into the flow of your breath. Allow your mind to rest on the breath as it goes in and out of your body. Follow each breath attentively, silently recognizing each in-breath and each out-breath. We will now relax our attention from the breath and open to a sense of self-love and compassion, and silently repeat the following words. May I be happy. May I be safe. May my heart feel peace. Again, in your own mind, repeat these phrases, receiving each of them with a kind and open heart. May I be happy. May I be safe. May my heart feel peace. And one more time, slowly savor each word. May I be happy. May I be safe. May my heart feel peace. Gently returning to your breath, rest in this loving, comforting space you've created for yourself. Let your breath continue to welcome and soothe you. Allow your inhales and exhales to soothe any anxiety, worry, weariness, sadness, or pain. Very simply, very lovingly, let the breath arrive on the inhale and gently flow away on the exhale. Now, gently relax your attention. While growing up, many of us never had the proper tools or guidance to deal with difficult emotions. We never learned to understand our sadness or anger. We weren't taught how to calm our anxiety or soothe our frustration. Instead, we learned to distract and avoid, to tune out unpleasant feelings with numbing, sometimes destructive behavior. But no matter what habits we developed when younger, in our adult lives, mindfulness can help us cultivate the skills of self-soothing. Through meditation, we learn how to calm our emotions and settle our nervous system. We develop self-acceptance and compassion. We learn to tenderly be with whatever arises rather than run from it. These tools allow us to care for our own hurt rather than seeking discomfort and distraction or destruction. Remember to reach for the tools of self-soothing. Be loving and gentle with yourself, and you'll be able to hold your own heart. Give yourself space to heal, time to breathe, and become your own source of soothing comfort. As Brian Andreas said, there are things I drop words of comfort on myself like falling leaves, and remember that it's enough to be taken care of by myself. As we come to the end of our meditation in these last few breaths, fill up your heart once again with loving kindness. Now, let your awareness return to the room, hearing sounds. Whenever you're ready, open your eyes. This phrase may not be repeated for a very long period of time, but nevertheless, at TCW, we are founded in meditation and prayer. If you need prayer after the service, I'll be available at the front. And there are boxes for prayer requests over there on the side and out front in the lobby, and also online at the church within. I thank you for joining me and us joining all together. God bless.
This is the only chance that I'll get to sit today, so I'm going to go ahead and take it. Everything that I wrote today is long, so sorry about that. It's just one of those days. The prayer for service today is called On Change. And I invite you to relax your gaze again or close your eyes as I read this to you, because I think it's a really powerful sentiment to where we are as people and as a people. On change. When you ask people about their biggest fears, they'll say things like the darkness, failure, loneliness, but a lot of them will also say change. The idea that change is something to be feared has always bewildered me, perhaps because I am one of the few ones who isn't really scared of it. I accept change with open arms, even if it's something that I know is going to hurt. I think this is why when I went back to the place where I lived for most of my life, the fact that everything was still the same scared me far more than leaving everything I'd ever known in favor of a new city. Static, same, never changing. Seeing the same buildings, same people, the same expressions made me uncomfortable. We run away from change because we're afraid it might destroy what we have. But from the deepest of pain comes the purest of joys. This is about more than just me and you. Change is universal. Change is the only constant. Without change, there wouldn't be caterpillars turning into magnificent butterflies. Without change, there wouldn't be summer turning to autumn, giving out to winter. Without change, there wouldn't be the constant circle of endings turning into beginnings, no destruction and creation. Shiva and Kali would weep in the heavens. Without change, there would be no beauty. There would be no life. Change is good. It is the background noise of the universe. We can't ignore it. One day, 100 million, billion, trillion years from now, when the earth is long gone and the last stars burnt out, long after the black holes turn to dust and the dust to atoms and the atoms turn to nothing, when the universe is just a sea of photons, witnessed by nothing and no one, when there will be no way to set apart the past from the future, we will listen from the other side, listen to silence. Maybe that is when we will change and mischange the most. We're really in the thick of it right now, friends. What in January seemed to be a little speed bump to get through calmly has now really turned into a rushing tide of change. Some of them we thought we could anticipate, and some of them just became extras on the bingo card. And just like in January, I'm here to tell you that what you're feeling is normal and it's necessary and it's healthy. And I'm still not scared of change. I said that and everyone laughed in January. And I was like, just you wait and find out. Checkmate. There's really an interesting thing that happens to all of us when we walk all the way to the end of our fear. It transforms into understanding, into clarity, to a crystallized knowing of what we need and what we want. Many of you are really along for the ride. Some of you are hesitantly peeking in and seeing what's happening as the dust is settling. Others of you are already walking your way out. These are all normal and critical parts about change and what happens when we have fear or anxiety because of it. We are born for belonging. How many times do I say that to you? So many, right? But like in scientific and less poetic terms, we are herd animals. Like the horses that I take care of every week. Our ability to register fear has quite literally kept us alive and evolving for centuries. It's why most of you won't come over to my house because you're not particularly fond of 6-foot snakes. It's why we don't run into beehives. It's why we don't end up in neighborhoods and spaces where no one looks like us. But what if survival right now needs to look different? There's this incredible life coach with a pretty decent podcast and a pretty decent following that says that we have two choices when we're dealing with change and fear. We can live below the line of fear, or we can live above the line of fear. Those are the only two choices that we have. The reason that we only have those two options is because change reminds us that we have no control. Surprise. We have no control. And as a species who craves making up control, confronting the lack of that feels really hard. When we as people begin to understand that we have no control, then we believe, like all herd animals, that we are in danger. Not just tense, not just sad, literally in danger. Operating below the line of fear is simply that. It is allowing that feeling and that sense of a loss of control to hijack the story that your brain tells you. Along with being herd animals, we're also meaning-making beings. Those two things don't go well together sometimes. They make for a really messy time in our brain. Truly, it can be a disaster. Fear asks us to use our brain to create ways to control, to stop something, to start something, and to move with different options that only we are creating. These are ways that we organically handle change, but it doesn't need to be the only part of the story. Operating above the line of fear asks us to get back to our feelings. It invites us into a space where we can acknowledge our fear of change and also see if there are ways that we are telling stories that are not genuine to the moment. My horses do this every day. It's mating season at the park. Some of last year's bucks, everybody know what a buck is, right? It's a raging, testosterone-filled, gorgeous deer with antlers out to here that really just hopes you will get in the way of him and his girlfriends. Just to be clear what a buck is. Some of last year's bucks are now standing taller than our herd of horses. Once in a while, as the lead guide, meaning you're the boy in front, me, I have to confront one of these massive boys out looking for his date for the afternoon. And once in a while, I see the deer well before the horse hears the deer. This doesn't happen very often, but when it does, a 1,400-pound animal underneath me jumps, lands stiff-legged, eyes like a whale, turns sideways, and then decides, while standing there still, if this forest creature is going to eat him or if he will be okay. With a few whispers, good boy, whoa, and some clicking noises, they sound like this. If you want to know horse speak. Every single time, I can remind the horse that we, in fact, have been here before, and that this deer will not somehow turn into a horse-eating monster. We take a deep breath. This is how you make a horse breathe. And we carry on. Operating above the line of fear means that we want to and feel capable of controlling the narrative that we are making. It means understanding that we never had control, but that because we are in community, we still have influence. We still have one another. And we still have a future. And damn if that isn't so much to be hopeful for. You are all here today because you want this congregation to survive. This space was built decades ago with a few people. Sometimes it was a house, sometimes it was a basement, sometimes it was walking in the woods, sometimes it was another iteration. This place has a legacy of 1 million different moments that have been shared together. And togetherness, belonging, and community, that is what you are fighting your fear to stay a part of now. I know that I have another page. It's right here. I know that so much is left unknown. And the truth is, what you thought was here wasn't steady or sure or really known to begin with. It was working, it was hopeful, but it wasn't here for forever. The change that is coming and has been growing is necessary. We are a group of people doing life and growing as people and as a people. For people to inhabit a space, to lean on one another, to show up and serve their community, the ones in the walls and the ones desperately needing us outside. That is holy work. And while we may not agree, while there will be things that feel hard to process or accept, to change is the only way to stay alive here. The pace of the world is not going to slow down for us. There are far too many things that involve strife and loss and violence and technology and movement. This is not our fault, but we have a choice to rise to the occasion. Living a life where we operate over the line of fear is a liberating way to live. It means that we question everything, including ourselves. It means we are no longer happy with believing the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves, and we create easier ways to walk in loving relationships. It means that we feel things that are intolerable, and we use love and not threats or silence to bid for the connection of those around us who are willing to sit in conflict with us. Living above the line of fear means seeing how many possibilities for a new life, a new community, and a new way of loving are right here before us in this moment of change. When we depart from service today, the board will be voting on the future of this building. And the future is one that Fletcher Place has said we have a home inside of. A collective and reciprocal way forward for us as people who are committed to welcoming the community and neighbors that we have never gotten to know. That future looks like one where money is no longer what holds us back, where neighbors are thrilled to learn about us, where we meet the needs of many and not just few, where we are reimagining what change can feel like and how we will live above the line of fear. As you sit later and listen to the board determine and help our path forward, I want you to ask yourself this. What if this is a moment where the stories I've told myself need to be quiet? What if there's a place for me here doing work that makes me come alive that I don't even see as possible yet? What legacy can this space and this community build with $1 million? What if this is the time where we build stronger, loving relationships because we made it to a future that is more beautiful than we could ever dream? For all the fear, for all the hope, for all the people known and yet to be known, let it be so. Amen.
All eyes will soon be on the stage. Behind the curtain, he's afraid. The playbill colorfully proclaims a dancing robot, man, it's great. How can this be? He's a synthetic being. How can this be? He's afraid of you and me. How can this be? He's just a stinking GPT. How can this be? He's afraid of you and me. You and me. The audience is waiting. Expectations run high, robots' gears start spinning, circuits burning inside. How can this be? He's a synthetic being. How can this be? He's afraid of you and me. How can this be? He's just a stinking GPT. How can this be? He's afraid of you and me. You and me. The lights go dim, the scrim comes up, a sudden hush falls over us. In that moment, the robot's completely serene. In that moment, his dance starts like a dream. All that stage fright and all that fear, it was coming from the crowd. It was coming from the crowd. Fear is humming all around. Fear is famous in our town. Fear is right here. Fear is right here, right now. We can feel it here in this room. All of our vibrations and they're coming true. Release our fear, release our pain. Release that robot for he goes insane. Oh, how can this be? Now it's just you and me. How can this be? We tapped into current frequency. How can this be? Now it's just you and me. How can this be? We tapped into current frequency. Robot smiling at me. We tapped into current frequency. We left our fear. We left our fear behind. Only love is here. Only love inside. Only love, only love, only love inside. Only love, hear the rising tide. Only love tonight. Only love tonight.
Let's take another breath. If I don't swallow it, I can't hear myself. May we remain close to our interior worlds as we begin inviting in the remainder of our day, of our week. May we practice the art of our own special gifts in whatever form they come. We are all necessary in this life and in this space and in this divinely connected moment. Let us remember our inherent dignity and our own unique expression of love as a momentary human experience. As the ushers gather up the baskets for the offering collection, please join me in the offering prayer. Beloved divine, all that I am and all that I have comes from your limitless supply. I am an open and willing conduit through which your love flows. I share all that I have as you direct. Love, friendship, prosperity, peace, abundance, and joy are gifts that I share and receive. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God. Amen. Beloved divine, conscious creator, let us offer gratitude. Gratitude for every gift of time, of talent, and of treasure that allows this movement of love to persist, to be tenacious. Let our intentional sharing and showing create more room for the places we have yet to arrive. Let our collective work and working create ways that we can move together into that potential which awaits us. May we arrive home in this moment again and again and invite those around us to join. For who we are as a people and as people are magnified when we practice togetherness. for who we are as people and as a people. We say thank you. So it is. Amen. Please stand if you are able and comfortable for the closing song. And afterward, stick around for food, an emergency board meeting. But it's not an emergency.
All people are holy, many paths, one God. All people are holy, only love is real. No matter who you are, no matter where you've been, let's gather together and let the Spirit in. All people are holy, many paths, one God. All bodies are holy, only love is real. Only love is real.
May the peace of God go before us into this glorious week, and may the peace remain wherever we have walked.
Peace above us and below us. Peace to the right and to the left. Peace within and without. Peace in the face of everyone we meet. Peace in the words to everyone we greet.